Today we're doing a review of this 22-inch Bauer scroll saw that I purchased back in September from Harbor Freight. As I said in the intro, I purchased this with my own money back in September of 2025. And of course, inside the box, there's a manual, a bag with hardware for the feet, a bag with two blades. There was a blade installed when I got it. One of those blades is in this bag. Two Allen wrenches, the pressure foot, and the knob to adjust the pressure foot. Now, I will say that this is the second saw that I've had. I had to take the first one back because somehow either I broke this or it broke by itself. I'm not really 100% sure, but it broke right. There's a plastic piece underneath here that this attaches to, and it broke off there. I emailed Harbor Freight. They got back with me about 4 days later and said that I would have to return this unit and get another one if it was within the 90 days. This does have a 90-day warranty through Harbor Freight, but I did email Harbor Freight and ask them for a replacement part, and they instructed me just to take it back and exchange it for another one. But I took it back to the store, told them the problem with this one, or the first one, and they had no problems. They had another one. They gave me a brand new box, and away I went. Right here is a picture of the plate that's on the side of the scroll saw. You can see it right here, but here it is blown up. That tells us everything we need to know about the power consumption, the stroke, etc. You can see it right there on the screen. Now, from this shot here, you can see there is an on-off switch here. This is the speed control. And of course, we have the, this releases the tension off of the blade. And the blade tension is actually back here in the back. Now, when you have the blade unhooked, you raise this up, and it normally has a pin that clicks in the back on this side, and it's so far back to reach that pin. Once you click it into place, it's really hard. Now, there are some, if you look on YouTube, there are some retrofits that people have done with a bar that you can press on the right side to release that pin in the back. I just basically lift it up and put a board underneath to hold it up while I'm threading the blade through my holes if I'm doing an interior cut. No big deal. But just keep in mind that it normally does have a pin back there that will latch into place once you raise it so high. And to tilt the head, because the table is fixed, the head is what tilts. This is your locking lever, and you roll the knob. You can see that is 15 degrees. There is an indent for 22.5 degrees. There is an indent for 30 degrees. And then coming back the other direction, that is back to 0. There's 15 degrees. There's no indent there. 22.5 degrees. It's not marked on here, but there is an indent. There's an indent for 30 degrees. And there is a stop and an indent for 45 degrees. And if you want to leave it at 45, then you would just tighten this bar down. Now, if you pull it to you, it will spin around and you can reorient it however you like it. So And to move it back, it's just a simple task of rolling it. Gets back to the indent at 0. I don't tighten that very tight, but I do leave this straight up just so I don't hit my knee or anything like that on that. And I know that it's supposed to be straight up when I tighten it back. So this is the lower thumb screw for the blade. The blade is right here. There is an Allen set screw on this side to get, if the blade is not 90 degrees to the table, you can loosen the set screw, the thumb screw, tighten the Allen, or vice versa, to move the bottom of the blade left or right to get it perpendicular or square with the table. I didn't have to make any adjustments to that, so it was dead on when I unboxed this saw and started using it. So you can see here when it's running, it is kind of difficult to get in here and clean, just so you'll know. But you can just take a wand and stick it in there and kind of halfway knock some of the dust off. The dust does pile up right here quite a bit and on this ledge, but the indent at 90 degrees is dead on, so you shouldn't have to do any kind of adjustment to your saw when you get it. A little bit of a different angle to the saw. This is that releases the tension off of the blade so that you can take it out. Speed pot, and then an on-off switch here. I have a foot switch, that's why it's not turning on. But here's what the saw, this is at minimum speed, and you can slowly increase the speed. And the scale goes 1 to 8, low to high. And that is full speed. Generally I run it around a 7, 6.5 to 7, and that is about this speed. That's 7. It's about 7.5 or 6.5 right there. So if you look on the internet and you look at the design of this scroll saw and you compare this design to the Rikon, the Jet, and I believe Grizzly sells this as well. I believe Buck Tools sells one as well. To me, they look identical. The Rikon has holes drilled here, and it has a dust collection port that goes underneath the bottom. Those saws are double of what this one is. I paid $249.99 for this. I got it on sale. I bought a 1-year extended warranty after I broke the first one. Went ahead and got the 1-year warranty. The Rikon has, I know for a fact because Artisan Pirate has one of those, and he says that it has a 2-year warranty straight from the factory. If you're looking for an entry level and something that's going to actually fulfill your needs moving forward, this is going to be it right here. 22-inch depth from the back of the blade to the throat here. I have cut some large practice items on this, and I've used the whole throat. The problem is it also goes back, you know, if it's 18 inches here, most likely you're going to have 18 inches at some point back here and all the way around. So I have limited myself where this is located as far as the wall and whatnot. Something I didn't think about, but you can cut big things with this. So you're going to have to stand up most likely so you can move around and give the piece room to get by you instead of sitting in on a stool like I normally do. All right, this is looking at the other side of the saw. There's the motor. There's a brush right here, and then there's a brush on the other side of the motor, opposite 180 of this one. There's the adjustment knob. The pin that I was telling you about would be right here. That would lock in when you raise the arm up to the fully extended position. It just has a pin that you pull and you kind of raise up on the arm, pull the pin, and then it will go all the way down. While you're here, I would appreciate if you check out my channel. Please consider subscribing and leave us a comment down below and tell us what you think about this 22-inch Bauer scroll saw from Harbor Freight. I appreciate you watching. We'll check you on the next one.